Well, I like your cut, G.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for shopping with today. Today we got a little special live. Yo, what up, Marcus? What up? Peanut? What up? Hey, Peanut, thank you for all the shares, bro. Oh my goodness, bro's going crazy. Bro's going crazy. Yo, everybody on TikTok, type in hashtag FYP. Are you freaking dumb? Look at the first comment, you dick. What do you mean, bro? Hold on, bro. Calm down. Calm down, bro. Calm down, bro. Calm down. It's not that serious. What up, Trisha? The intro is fire. Thank you, Peanut. I appreciate it, my guy. The reason I didn't see the YouTube comment is because it's not popping up yet on my thing. So, but he said, "Yo, LeBronco, we can't hear you." Hello, hello, you can't hear me? I feel like you're lying. Are you lying? You're lying. He's lying. He's lying. Yo, what up, Keem? What up? What up, Arbron? How you doing? How you doing? What up, WW? Today, chat. We are watching my friend Christian. My friend Christian dropped a video. His name is Christian Cave. He runs Caveman Wildlife, and he dropped a video of him catching an anaconda in the Amazon. So he just released a documentary of him doing it. So we're gonna watch it and we're gonna react to it. The music was just very loud. Oh, okay. Are you gonna play chapter 4 of Poppy Playtime today? Maybe. Are you playing another video game? You're on YouTube. You can see the thumbnail and the title. It says "Bro caught an anaconda." Reaction live. So the answer to that is no. I'm not playing Poppy Playtime. So, yeah, we're gonna hop into this real quick. Hopefully, hold on. Watching videos. Is this set up correctly? I hope it is. It's definitely not. Alright. Hold on. I'm saying Peanut. Are you playing Poppy Playtime? You know what, Gage? I am playing Poppy Playtime. This is the video right here. And, of course, the title, bro, makes so much sense. It's massive. Almost as massive as the low taper fade meme. Let's get that straight, bro. It's almost as massive as the low taper fade. I'm just turn my camera. I'm about to scoot over and shit. I'm turning my camera this way. All right. Can everybody see the screen? Can everybody see the screen? Hopefully everybody can see the screen. I'm moving this even more. Low taper fade meme in the big 2.5. I know, bro. Low taper fade meme in the big 2.5 is crazy, bro. All right. Let's get it started. No animals are harmed in the making of this film. Good. Everyone grab your, before we begin, everybody grab your popcorn. Get nice and comfortable. It's a 30-minute video. Well, you know, with me pausing, it's gonna be even longer. So grab you some snacks and get comfortable. I'm not muted, Marcus. I know I'm not, bro.
This is the moment. As the boat gets closer, the heart just starts pounding a little bit faster and faster. You have to jump. You have to jump now. 3,
guys.
2,
Oh my goodness.
1.
Go. Guys, we did it. Guys, we did it. It was the hardest catch I've ever done in my life.
There is an untapped amount of wildlife there. It's like no other place in the world. Huge trees, bugs and butterflies flying everywhere. It's so loud. I always tell people, it's like being in a city with no cars. Everything you hear around you is mating calls, it's defensive gestures, it's just a symphony of sound. And every single leaf you look under,
this isn't Fortnite, Marcus.
There's a weirder
Yo, what up, Josiah?
sticking there. Every single body of water, there's some massive arapaima or caiman sticking out of it, slithering around in the water. It's incredible. The Amazon is like no other place on the planet. It was always a dream of mine since I was like a little kid to see a green anaconda in the wild. I'd be in elementary school and at the school library checking out every single new snake book that came in. Without fail, in every single one of those books was the green anaconda.
Tell Bo to watch out for spinos. It's crazy.
The heaviest bodied snake in the world that lurks deep in the Amazon rain.
What up, Keem? How you doing, cuz?
Snake. In every single book without fail had that snake in it. I'm here in the Peruvian Amazon looking for the largest species of snake in the entire world.
Trisha, thank you for the heart,
green anaconda. But here, the local
I might hop on for it
the Yakumama.
later. The Yakumama. The mother of the water.
There's all these crazy folklore and legends of these snakes preying on people and being these monsters. And what I wanted to truly...
They prey on people. Yo, thank you for that. Is it the DJ cat? Thank you for that, Trisha. He said they be the folklore of them preying on people. I'd be too scared to go. I'm not even gonna lie. What up, King J? How you doing? He said, bro's doing all this when I'm sprinting out of the room at a small spider. For real. There was a snake in my driveway this morning. My mom sent us a video, and I've made it a vow not to go outside for the next 3 days.
The show is these snakes don't
Let's
want
be
to
real.
with people. They just want to be left alone in their environment. And I also wanted to actually just get some of the first real authentic...
Like, this looks so nice, but I know I'm just so scared of snakes and big animals that I just couldn't do it. What is this discovery? No, this is my friend from I know his... Blah, blah, blah. I know this guy's younger brother. I know this guy. Christian's friends with this guy, and he makes nature videos. And this is his first like big video that he's posted of him going to the Amazon and catching an anaconda with his own 2 hands.
Footage of someone catching a gigantic anaconda and measuring it. We had our tour guide Fernando Tapiavera with us, and he's serving as the expert. He grew up in the jungle. He knows this jungle like the back of his hand. And he's taking us to some of his favorite spots for green anacondas. Leading into finding the anaconda, I had my best friend Connor coming to join me in Peru. This is actually his first time ever out of the country. He had never been out of the country before.
It's great and crazy. It really is.
On a plane to Peru to go dive in the Amazon rainforest with me. He was there because he's the guy who I trust the most with my life. There's nobody else that I trust more with my life than Connor had.
Man's.
When I'm walking around there with Connor,
bro, Luke, maybe Luke from the Outdoor Boys. On God, that's not Luke. That's Luquavius, man. Luquavius from the Outdoor Boys. They should collab, bro. That'd be fine.
Whatever animal we come across, we're gonna be well matched for. Like we're gonna be ready. When you got a brother like that backing you,
and he swole, the anaconda stood no chance, bro.
There's no snake that's too big for us, right? But I won't lie to you. Even though I have Connor Head here with me, the guy who I trust more than anybody else, we are in an environment that neither of us have ever been in. What makes looking for the anaconda so difficult is that you're what's called floating forest. And how Fernando kind of explains it is this vegetation just grows and grows and grows, and it gets dense, it gets thick. The roots like intertwine and lock into each other, and they form like a mat over the water. And the best way I could describe it, if anybody's ever been on like a waterbed, you've ever walked around a waterbed or almost like a bouncy house with a little less bounce, that's the instability you're feeling. As this vegetation grows in, it creates a nice dense blanket of security.
That was Sarah.
For a lot of animals. So the green anacondas, from what I've learned, like to hang out in this dense floating forest vegetation because it's shy. It's a very shy snake that does not like to be out in the open at all. And they only really come up in the open and out in the bright sun to sun themselves. You're tasked with now not only being in this hard and kind of harsh environment looking for this snake, but you're also in an environment that you quite frankly just can't see very well.
Right under this boat right now and we wouldn't see it. The water is so tan and stained and it's so mucky and brown that like literally they can blend anywhere. So I gotta keep my eyes alert.
They're trying to find a camouflaged animal in his territory. That's gonna be hard, man.
So we're rowing up on the floating forest, and all of a sudden we start seeing the matted down vegetation that Fernando's been talking about. And Fernando told me that essentially when you go into the floating forest, we're going early in the morning when the snakes are gonna be just waking up, and you can tell a snake has been somewhere by the grass is going to be compressed and pressed down.
Mm.
So I'm looking at this gigantic mass of grass matted
That's like a walking trail dang near. That's so wide.
down, thicker than my torso, just matted down, and there's all these butterflies and bees going there.
It
And I look
can
back and I go,
camouflage.
"Is that a track?" And he's like, "Yes, Brent, big Yakumama." We go, okay, before we go in here, we're gonna send the drone up. And I'm kind of like, we're sending the drone up for a snake? And Fernando's like, oh yes, friend, you'll be able to see, like, you know, the anacondas from above. We're dealing with a snake that I can be 120 feet in the air and I'm still gonna be able to see. And so I go,
That's
in there,
crazy.
send the drone up, and sure enough, I go above the floating forest and it literally looks like highway interstates. There is like huge tracks, just wee highway interstates.
So like every single one of these little trails was from where an anaconda was slithering by, bruh. That's crazy. They can see it from like all the way up there, 120 feet. It's crazy.
There is like huge tracks just weaving in and all out of this forest. And there's no cars, there's no other there. There can only be one thing that is out there. And
The Yakumama.
that is a gigantic anaconda.
Same thing.
There is nothing that could have prepared me for the sheer mass of this snake. When you see these tracks and you realize you could lay down in them, you could fit your entire body in the slide of a snake track, it gives you a sense of how big of an animal you're dealing with. These tracks were absolutely massive.
He said, I think you should go there. You know, I was thinking about it at first, but nah, seeing how many of those tracks were there, I'm good, bro. If it's like one anaconda within like a 30-mile radius, maybe. That's a lot of anacondas.
Basically, the strategy for the next hour, 2-3 hours was you'd find a big track, a big section of matted down grass, and you just walk the center of it. Quiet as a mouse, just walking the center of it. At one point, Fernando was walking on the trail ahead
Like, look at that one.
of me.
Hold on.
And I'm
Let's go back a little bit.
walking the center of it. At one point,
Look at this one. That is wide. Look at that. That is huge. Like if he was walking, he'd be like the size of the mouse like vine right here. My God. Let's go to Alaska and survive for 2 days for a video. I would do that. I feel like, bro, I'm not even gonna lie. I think snakes are the only like animal that I'm afraid of for real. I can't do snakes at all.
Fernando was walking on the trail ahead of me, and I'm just following behind Fernando. We're kind of rolling in like a, a little line. And all of a sudden, he steps in this anaconda track, and the minute his foot leaves it, I see yellow scales starting to slither away into the mud. And so immediately, in the past hour, we have not spoken over this tone of voice because we're trying to be quiet. I just go, oh, snake, snake, snake. And everybody just runs like, oh, and then bam, I jump in the mud, and I'm just grabbing at the mud and the earth, and I pull up this really just funky looking snake that I've got no clue what the heck I'm looking at. Thought it was a juvenile anaconda. It's clearly not. And I'm kind of inspecting it and looking at it. And as I'm trying to ID this snake, I'm like, this is like nothing I've ever seen before. It just latches onto my thumb. Like just
Oh,
bam, bites me on
bites
the thumb,
him?
starts chewing on my hand, and I'm like, and it just lets go. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of the jungle where I'm an hour and a half away from like people, and then I'm another 2 hours easy away from the nearest hospital.
Oh.
I just screamed snake, 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 thinking I saw the tail of a juvenile anaconda whipping underwater. And sure enough, it is this snake, which I don't know what it is. So I don't know what this little guy is, but he gave me a really good chomp and hold on for a couple of seconds. So,
Hey, Fernando.
That's not good, bruh. Bro got bit in the middle of nowhere by a snake he doesn't know. He might just die before he gets there. He said, my great grandmother took a trip to the Amazon and took a boat down the river. Oh, she did? Oh, that's crazy. He said, bro, ready to fight a brown bear but won't fight a snake. That's facts. I'm not gonna lie. I would rather fight a brown bear than a snake.
What is this?
At least a brown bear looks
I don't
cute.
know, friend. I've never seen that before. Huh?
Not even the tour guide that lives there has seen the snake, bro. Are we for real? This man almost died.
You've never seen it before? And so I'm looking at this snake, and it's just staring at me, and I'm staring at him, and I'm like, you better not be venomous.
and it's gonna likely make my hand kind of swell up and itch and things like that. So, other than that, though, I don't think I'll die. But good reminder, never grab a snake that you're not sure of the ID on, because for all I know, this could be some type of venomous snake, and I'm gonna die in an hour or two. Awesome.
So at this point, I've been in the floating forest for a couple of hours now.
How optimistic.
I can tell that I'm not as sharp, and this ultimately led to a very grave mistake. Connor and I found a big anaconda track. We start following it up to the edge line of some thickets and branches. I don't recall seeing anything. I don't know what happened. I just remember grabbing a branch and snapping it. And immediately, it felt like somebody grabbed an iron and just stuck it on the left side of my face. And then it's like unanimously, my neck, back, arms, everything just light on fire. And it's so painful. I fall to my knees and I turn around and land right into Connor. And he's just bop, 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 beating the crap out of me. And I just take off out of the floating forest. Connor's chasing right behind me, still hitting me. And all of a sudden I just hear him go, dude, there's just bees. There's just bees upon bees.
Oh,
And,
ow.
my goodness. I just remember feeling my skin and my face, my neck just on fire. It was so overwhelming with pain. Like all the blood just like pools down from my body. And all of a sudden I'm just looking around, I'm asking Connor, I'm like, what happened? He's like, bro, all I saw was just your neck is just engulfed in these black bees and they're all over your back, just stinging you, and I'm just trying to get them off you. And I'm just railing, looking around, and all of a sudden, where are my glasses?
Oh,
Where are my
no.
glasses? I can't see. I'm like blind.
He pulled the Velma. No.
And it hits me that when that bee first stung me in my ear, it hurt so bad I just slapped myself. I just remember slapping myself super hard, and my glasses are now back in that nest somewhere. And I just remember I'm hunched over. Oh my gosh, like my skin is on fire. I'm just hunched over, just catching my breath still, and I'm like, oh man, like I can't see, I can't see. And Connor pulls up his gator again over his nose, and I see him putting on his hoodie, and I'm looking at him like he's not about to go back in, and he goes, hey Brody, I'm gonna go back in there and get your glasses. Connor, like, don't go back in there. They're gonna sting you too. He's like, hey, I'm good. I promise, I won't get stung. And he goes back in there. He just comes out with the glasses above his head. Got stung like 3 more times on his neck. Doing
Oh.
he just came back out, handing me the glasses. Like,
That's a W mans, bro. That's a W friend for real. I'm gonna say that, bro. That's a W friend.
you good?
If I were him, the glasses would have been gone. That's why I was not there and Connor was. That's why I was not there and he was. The glasses would still be back there. He would be blind for the rest of the trip.
By the way, Fernando, cool as a cucumber, just slowly walks over after hearing me scream and holler. And he goes, oh, carachupas. And we're like, Cara, what?
The local name is carachupas. Carachupas. They are tiny, but they will follow you and you get this sting.
A hornet that if you go near the nest and break branches and disturb, they all flood out and sting you until you get far enough away.
Fernando, bro. You couldn't have told them this, like, before they went into the forest, bro. You couldn't have been like, watch out for the hornets. If you just start walking through, they will jump you. They will kick your knees in. You couldn't have told them that? Come on, bro. You gotta give me some heads up. He could have won a jacket or anything.
I'm just staring at him. He's just, it's bad, no? Yeah, yes, it's bad. Yes, it's very bad.
Nice to know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Like, I literally had a bunch of these things just go all over my face and my ear. And that was by far the worst bee sting I've ever taken in my life.
We keep going.
Guys,
That is how high the desperation of finding this snake was. Connor and I only have 2 days to get this done. For at least 2 or 3 additional hours, him and I hiking through this floating forest, stepping, falling up to our waist, crawling out of the mud.
The side of my mouth is swelled up. I feel like Kanye West, man, through the wire.
Oh my God.
Not my first thought of how this trip was going to go, looking for this.
I was talking like Bobby
Went from
Boucher
being
now.
Up here when I saw the habitat, to going up here when I saw how beautiful and gorgeous these tracks were and how great it all looked, to we might not get this done. And I got messed up by bees, and this sucks right now.
Channel name I'm gonna sub is Caveman Wildlife.
I remember waking up on the second day, exhausted. This was the final day. This was the last chance I was going to get a green anaconda. And I was nervous. Like, I genuinely was very anxious.
Oh, I almost forgot. We made the stakes higher. If Connor and I, today, catch a 10-foot plus anaconda, and Fernando agreed to this, we will get the words Yakumama tattooed on our wrist. And Yakumama is the native word here for anaconda. That's the stakes, y'all. If we get an over 10-foot anaconda in hand, we will get the tat and we will show it in the video. We just got to do the dirty work now and trudge all the way in there and try to find them like we did yesterday.
And we just start tearing through the jungle on foot. Like, we are moving. There is nothing stopping our stride until, naturally, of course, the rarest snake, or one of the rarest snakes in the Amazon, slides out across us on the floor. It's a yellowtail crebo, Drymarchon corice. This is my first one ever. So I catch this snake and I'm holding it in my hand. It's like 6.5 feet of just muscle, beautiful snake. And I look at Connor and I'm like, what if we can't just not film this guy, right? Like, we got to keep going, but we film it, right?
So to see this one out in the Peruvian Amazon feels absolutely amazing. But sure enough, right out here in the...
Well, luckily he knows what this one is. So if it bites him, he'll know if he's going to live or die.
early morning when it's just starting to heat up, that's when these snakes start to go on the prowl. These are diurnal predators. So during the day, he spends his time whipping around through the leaf litter, climbing and digging under things, looking for other snakes and other animals to eat. I did not expect to get this snake this morning, but we got to be quick and hurry up. We got anacondas to catch.
Oh, that was a snake I'd really wanted to see my whole life too. One snake above all that we're focused on, right? And at this point, I'm sick to my stomach. It's midday. We are losing time rapidly. Sure enough, there is an 8-foot-long yellowtail crebo stretching.
Golly.
I've now seen 2 yellowtail crebos in one day. A snake before that morning I'd never seen in my entire life. And Connor's like, we came here for one snake. We came here for one snake. Let the yellowtail crebo go. No exaggeration. I go up the trail. There is a 3rd yellowtail crebo. So that is 3 yellowtail crebos that now have not been filmed, and the whole entire rest of this hike to this lake, that's just echoing around in my mind. I'm like, man, I missed out on an opportunity there. And we're finally going to this next location, and it looked significantly more difficult than the last. The water here is super turbid, super murky, not very easy to see in at all. And I just remember there was a moment where everything sort of got quiet. And I was standing up on our canoe, and I looked over the right side of the boat, and my life changed.
Uh-oh.
I just remember
The lock-in.
over the right side of the boat, there was no track. There was just a hole caved out of the floating forest. And I just see black spot, yellow spot. And it was like unmistakable, beyond any reason of a doubt, what I was looking at. A green anaconda. Immediately, the minute I saw it, I look at Connor, I look at Fernando, I go, I'm going in, I'm going in, I'm about to jump. I go 3, 2, and all of a sudden, no.
Bro said, let me at him! Let me at him!
No, he's like silent screaming. You ready?
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? For real. Bro is the opposite of Indiana Jones, bro.
3, 2, 1.
What are you talking about? He's like, don't jump. Don't jump. And I'm like, what do you mean don't jump? Like going back and forth, arguing. Okay, hold on.
Hold on, chat, before. You're looking bold. Alright. You're back and better than ever.
Okay.
And he goes, if you jump right now, you're going to push the boat back and we won't be able to help you. My body is just tingly. Like, I'm like, this is the moment. This is the moment. This is the moment. And as the boat gets closer, the heart just starts, pounding a little bit faster and faster. Connor out of nowhere goes, hey, Cave? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I see the head.